Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gaming Droid and welcome back to modern Skyblock 3 as we just wait for the world to load in slightly. Wait. So we've got a few things we want to be getting on with today. We need to finish off actual editions and we've got pretty much ready to do that. And what we need to do is we need to make the actual editions phantom faces and the phantom face interactor. So if we have a look through actually editions, we should be able to spot the phantom faces reasonably easily. Here they are. So we need to make the basic phantom face, we need to make a phantom placer, we need to make a liquid face and an energy face. I don't think we need a phantom breaker or a redstone face. Let's have a look. We do need a redstone face and we do need a phantom breaker as well. So we need everything and we also need a phantom connector. So we have a look phantom. So we need the phantom connector. Easy enough to make. It's got some eyes and bits and pieces. So other than that, we need to make several of these. I'm just going to make sure that detects those because we're going to basically be using them to make other ones now. So the phantom placer just requires an auto placer and some palace. There we go. And then we have a phantom liquiface, which requires buckets, but we have buckets over here, 172 buckets, so we've got plenty of those. And that allows us to make a liquiface, which you can imagine is for liquids. An energy face is for energy, and the redstone face requires more energized redstone, but we can do that, empowered redstonia, but we can do that because we've made empowered redstonia en masse. So there's the energy face. The redstone face, and then we need an auto breaker. Again, reasonably easy to make because of all the resources we gathered earlier, thanks to our mob farm. Our mob farm has basically paid for us to do so many quests since then, but that should... we have made a phantom placer. I promise you, game, we've made a phantom placer. Oh no, we just made a placer, we didn't make a phantom placer. Ah, that's why. There we go. And that should complete that quest. Excellent. So these are actually quite useful. These are a form of... yeah, I can go in here. These are a form of long-range transfer, which have a range of 16 blocks. So what we can do is, for instance, if I take... let's take our energy face. And let's teleport up and over to here where we have this particular energy cube. If I put this down over here, say, and I say bind you to you. Block stored on the connector, bind you to you. This isn't connected to anything. Wait a second. Block stored to this connector. Connected and fine and working. Okay, so now, if I then take some energy connectors and some energy cable out of here, and let's say let's find something that I can have use power consistently. If I break you, and I attach you onto here, and you onto here, now what should happen is this should be drawing power out of our... If I turn it on, I have to connect you to you. I tried to use embers in our stream. If you're wondering where some of this stuff came from and you haven't watched the stream VOD, it's because we were using a stream VOD. What this should be doing now is it should be gaining energy, but it is not. Wonder why. Is it because this face is not bound, this face is not set to output? So I should be able to have this set up so that... where's my engineering hammer gotten to? Huh, I've lost my engineering hammer. Well, that's frustrating. But theoretically, this should be outputting energy. Is it outputting energy from this side? It's outputting energy from that side. So I wonder if I have to rotate it, because it's currently not outputting energy. So maybe if we put this on a side that has the outflow already set. So that is an outflow according to... Yep, that's fine. So it has to match up with this, and it faces in the same direction. So it has to have the same inputs and outputs as that does, which is fine. But we can now transfer power 16 blocks without any cables. And even better than that, we can transfer blocks further if we put phantom power boosters on top. So this is going to be a big redesign of the entire island, basically. We're basically going to be redesigning where everything goes and why, and sort of how it gets there. Which is going to be really interesting, because we're going to be able to do an awful lot of very cool things using phantom power blocks. However, for the meantime, we're just going to put the phantom faces down in here, and we will come back and deal with the phantom faces in a little bit. Other than that, I also want to get the next thing, which is the teleporting around. Teleporting around requires us to make a teleportation staff. I think I've made everything we require for that, because the teleportation staff is actually very simple. It does require you to have empowered diamantine and a single battery, which is just Inori, an advanced crystal, and some redstonia. It requires you to have ender casings, which are empowered diamantine, ender, and a black quartz, but again, very simple. And a block of ender pearl, which is ender pearl. So it's very ender pearl heavy, but it's actually, once you've made it, not particularly difficult to make. Now, theoretically, if we charge this up using the actual additions thing, this should be basically the same as our teleportation sword, but slightly more powerful, I think. Oh, tell me you're still going to detect it. Yeah, you still detect it fine. Excellent. So the teleporting around, the teleportation staff uses powerful to tell you wherever you're looking at, no matter the distance. Yeah, so that's the difference, is that this thing doesn't have a different distance. Now, I'm not sure if this thing can teleport us through walls. Because if it can't teleport us through walls, it might not be as useful in this sort of environment where we have platforms. Where we have like multi-layered things. So I might redesign the island to accommodate for that. But yeah, it teleports us to the wall. But on the other side of things, if I was to look over there, it can teleport us literally as far as we need to teleport. So although it can't teleport us through walls, necessitating a bit of a redesign, it can teleport us pretty much as far as we want to go. And the reason we wanted to get teleporting around is because we are working towards extra utilities, and that gave us access to just needing to do astral sorcery to get extra utilities running. Now, other than that, we've got True Life, a True Collector, and the True Collector requires, Chickens, which requires a True Collector and Creating Life. A True Collector is... I'm not really sure where a True Collector is, because the chickens is a way of generating resources. A True Collector looks like it comes from a Master Chef, but we have everything in a Master Chef, so... And it also looks like it comes from bees. Oh, there's a True Collector over there. The True Collector and Creating Life. True Collector and Creating Life. Okay, so those are 2 bee quests. But what we do want to get into is we want to get into extra utilities, because extra utilities will, combined with the phantom faces, allow us to transport power over a long distance and allow us to distribute power without using the cables, because we can make energy interfaces from extra utilities. Energy relays. So what I want to get on with then is I want to get on with astral sorcery, the power of the stars. So the first thing we need to do is make rock crystal. That is very simple. It is just stone and Inori crystals in the Empower that we made on that we've made previously. So in this thing, all you need to do is put stone and Inori crystals in there together, and you end up with basically as much energy, as many rock crystals you need. And that's actually quite good, because rock crystal is pretty expensive. Pretty expensive and pretty kind of hard to come by in a normal world. Now, these things drop crystals based upon fortune, and our axe doesn't have any fortune on it. So what I did was, in the stream, I made myself a Halidor pickaxe, and I gave it fortune 3. And the way I gave it fortune 3 was, if I look up fortune in here, is these tokens from Silent Gems. You can enchant Silent Gems pickaxe using these tokens. They just require Silent Gems, diamonds, and enchantment tokens, which require a little bit of Chaos Essence, gold, and lapis. So we made some of these, and we made 3 of these tokens. We had plenty of golden beryl, and our diamond count was pretty high. And so we gave ourselves Fortune 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to break one of these, or we're going to break... Actually, we can't break it with this pickaxe. Oh, that's a problem. This pickaxe isn't good enough, so we have to supercharge gems. Because this is the highest level pickaxe you can get without supercharging gems. Ah, so actually that was pointless because we can't break these because they're obsidian level. And we don't have the ability to supercharge gems, we just don't have the access to it. Luckily, it doesn't matter that much because we can make this stuff really cheap. So actually this was a waste of emeralds, a waste of diamonds and time. Ah well. On the stream, we also enhanced our ring. So now we have jump 1, resistance 2, strength 2, haste 2, and speed 1. So things are mining very quick. But as you can see, we get plenty of rock crystals anyway. Now, to begin Astral Sorcery, normally what you would do is you'd go and find an Astral Sorcery temple. And in the Astral Sorcery temple, you would find a floating crystal. And the floating crystal would be the start of your Astral Sorcery. But we can't find an Astral Sorcery temple because we're in a Sky Island world. And so we have to gain our Astral Sorcery crystal some other way. Now, if you were in SevTech, the way you do it is you go through Necronomicon. But we don't have the Necronomicon. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn some of these into floating crystals. And we're actually going to turn 4 of them into floating crystals. And we're going to do that using non-mining Action Editions laser. So there's 2 of them turned into floating crystals. And another one. Something seems to be here, but you can't tell what it is yet. Excellent. Dang it, not enough power. Come on, charge up faster. So it did 2, so we need to be about halfway up the charge. There we go, 4 floating crystals. And the reason we're having 4 floating crystals is floating crystals you can actually chain together. There we go. So we have another task. We need to make a linking tool. With the Empower, you can make rock crystal ore, you can use the atomic to make floating crystals, and the linking tool will allow us to link floating crystals to things. So linking tool from Astral Sorcery is just sticks and a floating crystal. So that's not too difficult. That's a different recipe than what we would normally be using. But we can do that one nice and easily. There we go. So now, to make a luminous crafting table and a resonating wand, link the floating crystal to a crafting table and use the recipe in the journal. So now we need to start down Astral Sorcery. And Astral Sorcery is pretty cool. Like normally what we'd do is we'd go and find a temple, and in the temple there would be one of these floating crystals, and we would use Astral Sorcery combined with the floating crystals to basically do what we want to do now. But we're not going to do that because we can't, because we don't have access to Astral Sorcery or linking crystals or anything like that. So instead, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the mechanics that the game has installed extra. Now, what we need is we need an open area with sunlight, with access to the stars. So we're going to start over here, and we'll take this down because this isn't really necessary anymore. And you and you. There we go, and you can all go in there. We've got a nice big patch of white concrete as well. It's quite nice. And some snad. All kind of unnecessary for now. And we also have what was our gem washing station, but we're not really going to be manually washing gems because we're almost at the point where we can get into mechanically washing gems. So let's put our floating crystals separated out like this. And then if we take our linking tool, we can go link. There we go. And link. We can only link one to that table for now. Actually, I'm just going to move all of this into the second page here, just because it makes it a little bit easier to deal with, because we're going to be basically moving this chest down into the interior. Yeah, you're empty, so you can get broken. You're empty, so you can get broken. And then we can actually go and make a... and this would be how you get into Astral. So we can go and make a Charm of Storage. And this is how we get into Astral Sorcery. So, crafting table and use the recipe in the journal. So we need to make the Astral Sorcery journal, because all of the recipes are in the journal. So the Astral Sorcery journal is this one, which is just parchment, 3 aquamarine, and a book. Now I'm not sure how we get parchment, so we'll have to look that up as well. Parchment is paper and aquamarine. Okay, that's not a problem. So let's make a storage keeper. Storage keeper is this. There's a storage keeper. That will allow us to empty our chest. And then we need some aquamarine. I think you are the aquamarine. You are moonstone. Dang it. Aquamarine. Are you aquamarine? You are aquamarine. Excellent. So there we go. We have aquamarine and we have paper. And now we can head back over here. Put the storage keeper in here and break it. And there we go. We've got all of that stuff stored away in there for now. And now we go back to Astral Sorcery. So Astral Sorcery, we're going to make the paper, which is 4 paper and an aquamarine. 4 paper, aquamarine. We'll probably make a couple of batches of this, because we're going to probably need a bit more parchment before we're done. There we go. There's 16 parchment. And then it's parchment, aquamarine, and a book. Ah, I forgot the book. I still need to do a lot of tidying in this series. There's a lot of stuff that needs tidying up in this series. But we'll get there eventually. Seriously, you weren't on the right spot? Oh, because you've got the mining laser. No, take the mining laser off, hit the button. There we go. 37 leather, that'll do. And I'm going to leave that flesh to despawn because I don't care. Okay, so we'll make a book. No, that's not how you make a book. Damn it, droid. Learn to Minecraft. And 1, 2, 3. And there we go. There's the Astral Sorcery Tome. So now if we zoom in on Discovery, we will see that we can make a luminous crafting table using 6 marble, a crafting table, and some sooty marble. Sooty marble is made by combining coal and marble. Okay. So I did make a little bit of marble last time. Marble is made in Britannia. We look at marble. We make it using polished diorite in the Atomic Reconstructor. And polished diorite at the moment, the only real way we can get polished diorite is either by combining quartz and stone, which is very expensive, or by doing it as a transformation in the mana pool, which is why we set up our mana pool with the catalyzing gland underneath. But we have made ourselves some marble, so we just have to find out where we put it. There's our marble. And we need a piece of coal, which we've got there, so that's fine. So we've got a stack of marble to start with. Now we're going to need a lot of marble, so there's going to be a little bit of processing involved in that. But for the most part, oops, I completely forgot that I'd need some wood. Luckily, I have some wood here. And this does allow us to make a crafting bench using spectral wood. So we're going to make a ghost crafting bench and turn it into a star-powered crafting bench. Like so. There we go. So now that we have completed this section, making the luminous crafting bench, we can then look at making a resonating wand, which is how we use the luminous crafting bench. So 2 aquamarine, an ender pearl, and 2 marble. That's not terrible. Ender pearl, aquamarine, and marble. And that gives us a resonating wand. And that's how we activate things in Astral Sorcery. So that should complete that quest. So the light well turns certain materials into liquid starlight, water, and lava. And then we've got link the floating crystal to iron ore to turn it into star metal ore. So we need to make some iron ore. That shouldn't be too hard. We might even have some iron ore sitting in here waiting. We don't. Do we have any iron? We don't. That's fine. I love the teleportation wand. So 1 of these, and then 2 of these, and we can make some iron. Excellent. And as for the light well requires us to make ruined marble, chiseled marble. We have rock crystal and aquamarine. So the rock crystal we can get from in here. I'm going to grab a couple of rock crystals. The marble is fine. We can chisel the marble upstairs. And then we need to turn this into iron ore dust. And we can use our standard condenser to make iron ore. It's already set to stone mode, so we're going to run that with the stone mode turned on. I changed this up. I got rid of the stack movers and replaced them with an item extractor. I'm going to actually change this up and like move stuff around. There's so much. Every time you come to a new stage, you want to rearrange things and make things better. So there's so much stuff I want to rearrange and make better. But for now, at least, we're just going to grab some iron ore. And we're just going to link it to this. And actually, I think I can link you to here. Yeah, so we're doing multiple different ones at the moment. You to this. Ah, so it's actually, I can link this one to as many as I need to link it to. And it just links to whichever one is closest. There we go. So that's going to slowly absorb starlight, even though it's not nighttime, and it's going to fill these in and turn them into star metal. And then if we grab our chisel, and we throw some marble in there, 1, 2, 3. We need 3 of these, and 1, 2. We need 2 of that one, which is this one. Then we should be able to just put this recipe in, and we should be able to get ourselves a light well pretty much instantly. Ah, this requires the luminous crafting table. Right, okie dokie. You to here. There we go. So we can do this one in here, and you can see that we've got a full energy bar just because we have access to so much light around here. Because we've got access to the crystals to empower things. And there we go. There's our light well. And the light well does exactly what it says here. It melts down certain things into different materials. So what we need is we need to melt something down into liquid starlight. So now we've got the luminous crafting table, we don't need this anymore. So we can actually delink that one. We can actually link that there. You should disappear, little line, over time. But what we need to do is we need to make some normal starlight, some liquid starlight. And we do that by putting a rock crystal above it. And you can see that slowly this will fill with liquid starlight. It's just going to trickle off this as the starlight melts it. So that's our liquid starlight up and running. Now here we need to make star metal ore. Now I'm not sure if breaking it gives me the ore. It does. Excellent. So there we go. We've got star metal ore. And star metal is one of the kind of base materials that we need in here, and we can use it to make things like celestial crystals. If we have a look in here, we can have a look at the other things. There are constellation papers found around the world, and constellation papers allow us to unlock constellations. We've got the different ores, which are aquamarine, star metal, and rock crystal. We've got sooty marble and normal marble. We've got talking about ancient shrines and floating crystals. But other than that, we can go to exploration. And exploration starts to give you some other bits and pieces. It starts to give you rock crystal tools, which are actually quite powerful. Talks about crystal growth. Upon immersing a single rock crystal into this strange cold lightweight liquid, some of it keeps clinging to the crystal. Upon closer inspection, it almost seems the liquid starlight solidifies on the surface, but quickly starts to melt off again, undoing the temporary added mass. If the crystals were to be larger, perhaps one could get multiple items crafted from it, maybe leaving it in the liquid long enough might permanently increase its size. So that's about basically bulking up crystals. We've got the other crafting ingredients, which are nocturnal powder and illumination powder, and we've got the cave illuminator, which is an easy way to illuminate all the caves underneath your area. Then we've got the light well, which is for melting liquid. We've got the fossic resonator, which is how you find... looking up the sky with the naked eye, it's nearly impossible to discern the magnitude of starlight emitted. This allows you to find areas with really strong starlight. The spectral relay allows you to relay starlight from place to place, so it allows you to gather and relay starlight using one of these. The looking glass is just helping you to look at constellations, which is a big part of this mod, but not part we're interested in right now. And then the starlight crafting altar is the next up crafting altar. And instead of just having the 3x3, it also has 4 slots around the edge, which are these 4 little bits here. And they allow us to craft bigger areas. But for it to work, we have to build this environment, this kind of temple to it. Otherwise, it won't work properly. Ooh, that was pretty quick, actually. Now, it's actually going to run faster because it's nighttime, and I think we might be out of buckets. Am I out of buckets? I am out of buckets. Well, dang it. Bucket. And bloop. There we go. There's a bucket full of starlight, and that should complete for us the liquid starlight quest. Except it didn't detect when we had the actual well. One of the minor frustrations I have with beta questing is it doesn't always detect things when it should. There we go. There we go. So our next quest is celestial crystals. By throwing stardust and rock crystal into a liquid starlight, a cluster will be created. This cluster will slowly grow but can be sped up by placing star metal ore below it. Once it's fully grown, you can break it to obtain a celestial crystal. So what we need to do now is we need to make ourselves... I'm actually going to make it out of this because it's actually going to look pretty cool. We need to make ourselves an environment where we can make a celestial crystal. We're going to make just a very simple little environment. And the fact that I have haste now makes this quite cool, because we can do this quite quickly. And now we can put a bucket of this here. And what we need is we need stardust and star metal. We need rock crystal and stardust. And to get stardust, we need to break down these. Now, I'm wondering if we can do it in the Actually Additions Crusher. It doesn't look... yeah, we can do it in the Actually Additions Crusher and we can get stardust. Excellent. We can also smelt them up to get star metal, but we're just going to throw 2 in the Actually Additions Crusher for now, and that should be fine. Top up our wand while we're here. And we need another piece of rock crystal because we did waste 1 bit of rock crystal. We'll grab a few more rock crystals. What we need to do now is we need to throw in 1 of you and 1 of you. There we go. You can see that it's fizzing away, and that will slowly, we hope, turn into a celestial crystal. So that's that section done. We now need to look at building the Starlight Altar and things like that. And for that, we need lots and lots of marble. Probably more marble than we have, although we can have a look to see if we can sort of get together enough marble. I definitely need to change my platform up massively. I basically need to strip everything down and essentially just rebuild from the ground up. There we go. So we've got a little cluster there that's growing steadily. And now we can actually get rid of this. And now we've got a cluster of celestial crystals growing, and those need to grow to full size. So let's have a look at what we need for the Starlight Crafting Altar Temple. We need 8 chiseled marble, 28 marble arch, 24 marble bricks, and 8 marble pillars. So what's that? That's 40, 52, 60, 68 marble. So we don't have enough marble for that. So what we need to do is get more diorite. So how many... we don't have a lot of nether quartz. And the best way to get nether quartz is by crushing up stone, crushing up netherrack and getting quartz dust. Because at the moment, all of these other things require ore, and I'm pretty sure we don't have any way of getting the ore yet. We don't have any lasers or anything that will make us quartz ore. Now, what we could do is we could try making quartz ore using the atomic laser, but we can check that if we look up iron ore. Does this say we can get it from the atomic laser? It doesn't. So we might, if we're lucky, be able to get quartz ore from the atomic laser. So let's see. That's black quartz. Copper. A little bit too fast on the swing there. No, I want you to go in this slot. Well done. Take your time, dear. Ah, didn't have enough power in it. Dang it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going to get quartz ore at any kind of reasonable rate, unfortunately. Which is a bit of a pity, because it would be nice to get hold of some quartz ore. But for now, at least, we'll have to go the other way, which is to go through the mana pool. Now, it is moderately expensive to go through the mana pool, but it's not too bad. And we do still have quite a few black lotuses that we can use. Even though we're not generating mana any other way, we still have quite a few black lotuses, so that's not too bad. It's a good idea not to sleep when you are doing this, by the way, because you are looking at getting as much starlight as possible during astral sorcery. So sleeping doesn't help you gain starlight. Let's go and see about setting up a basic temple for now. Actually, we should probably make the actual crafting bench first, which is this one, the Starlight Crafting Altar. So we need 4 marble pillar, 2 chiseled marble. Marble pillar we can get from chiseling, or we can put 2 marble on top of each other. We'll just chisel it as it's easier. So we need 4 marble pillars. Nope, that was the wrong one. 4 marble pillars, and then 2 chiseled marble. And then we need a attuned rock crystal and liquid starlight. So how do we get an attuned rock crystal? Crystal growth, rock crystal properties. Nope. Crystal growth. On immersion, that's getting the growth of them. I want to know how to attune a rock crystal. Wonder if any old rock crystal will work. I'm kind of hoping so. See, these have already grown slightly. They're slightly larger crystals. We're waiting for these to become nice, big, healthy crystals. So if we look up celestial, so if we look up crystal cluster, you can see that this is the size we want them to be. They're currently about here. We want them to grow up to this nice, big, chunky size so that we can actually get a good return out of them. So we want you, 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 and you. No, it has to be an attuned rock crystal or an attuned celestial crystal. So how do we make attuned crystals? Okay, so we need to make an attunement altar, which is you, which we need to make the style. So we definitely need the celestial. So basically what we are doing now is we're waiting for this guy to finish. And once this guy finishes growing, then we can... Oh, it's used up the star metal. Interesting. So link you to you. There you go, because it's used up the star metal to grow it. So what I will do is I will return it back into star metal and just kind of cycle it to make it grow faster. Okay, so in the meantime, what I will probably do is I'll probably look into continuing to make some marble and continuing to get things ready, and also do a little bit of reshaping and things. I might stream and do a little bit of reshaping and things. But in the meantime, I have been the Gaming Droid. This has been Modern Skyblock 2, and I will see you all in another stream. Bye-bye, everybody.